Just want to give you a minute to see how you should probably be using this. In an instructional video, I showed you how to download it, unzip it, and then in that unzipped folder, look for the Excel spreadsheet. You're going to open that again. Every time you do that, you're going to have to enable the macros, options, enable, hit the message, press the green button to start. Now, first of all, if you want, you can hit this button and it will pick questions at random. It's only going to pick from questions that you have not yet seen unless you check this include previously used questions buttons. So for most people, they're not going to check that. These are the options that people usually like. I'll let you play with those. It's whether it takes up the whole screen, whether it closes automatically when you pick an answer, and whether or not it shows you the answer. So if you just want to see 10 random questions, just hit the start button. These are going to be 10 questions that could be on any topic. Question 1, here's 3 resistors in parallel. What's the total resistance? Well, I can look at this. I see that you have parallel, they're equal resistances, so it's going to be 3 ohms divided by 3 gives me 1 ohm. That's the correct answer. Now with each question, this window won't close unless you pick a difficulty level. It's meant to be a little bit reflective and help you think about what are the most challenging topics. So I looked at that. I would say that was kind of difficult for most students. So that's stored somewhere. And you can complete this. As you do this, it's going to keep track of how many you got right, how many you have remaining, how many you got wrong, etc. You can hit this button if you want to get a hard copy of the exam, which is just really the images pasted into a spreadsheet, but you could in principle print that out if you wanted to, and that's just in another spreadsheet that it creates. So I'm going to close this quote-unquote exam. You may want to choose a specific topic. To do that, there's 2 ways you can do that. One is to only include topics that you have selected. So when you hit select topics button under here, we call them tags, check the boxes. So let's say I want to see estimation, units, and we'll just stick with estimation and units. When I close this, now when I start the exam, I'm only going to get topics from those. So here's an estimation, length of a dollar bill kind of question. As long as I'm up, even though you don't need it for this question, there's a reference table. Sorry about that. Well, you don't need it to answer this question. I want to show you the Get Reference Table button, which are the 6 pages of the New York State Regents reference table. The reference table intended to be used alongside these questions. So you would always have these with you. You have these 6 pages. Comes in handy. Another way that you can see the questions by topic, and this is perhaps the most important button in this whole process, is the How Am I Doing button. What it does is it actually keeps track of your progress in each of these areas. There's about 50 or so of them that I've chosen, and it keeps track of which questions you've never seen, which ones you got right the first time, which ones you got wrong the first time. So if you were to click this button, you would see just the questions on estimation that you've gotten wrong the first time you did it. Since we haven't done any questions, there's no questions there, but that's how that would work. Paper version is similar to what you saw before. It'll paste them into a spreadsheet as images so that you can look at them. It also keeps track of your overall rates of success with these questions. So this is the first time you saw it. These are overall topic by topic. This self-assessed difficulty is the difficulty from 0 to 5, or 1 to 5, I guess, that you rated it when you closed the question. So that might be handy for you. Another one that I like is this ability to choose a specific question. Should you want to look it up exactly, put in the year, month of the exam. Those will all be 1 or 6. You can get that problem, or you can get that actual exam. So if you want to see the June 2010 exam, at least the multiple choice questions, when you hit that button, this is going to give you those questions. I know that's a popular way to review because you can attack a single Regents exam and see exactly how you would have done on that exam. button you might find useful is the bar chart of how you're doing. Now, when I press the button, it's not going to give us much because we haven't really done any questions yet. But it does keep track by topic your percentage success rate. That's all your attempts, not just the first one. So you can see it changing over time as you do more and more questions, and maybe help steer you towards the topics that you want to do. And these, of course, all match exactly the categories that we used before. Summary of comments, book bag. In order to understand that, I want to look at a particular question. So you can put this in a book bag, which is just a pile of questions that you want to review. You can type some notes to yourself, and those notes get stored. So now if you pull that question up again, those notes are there. And also, if you were to look at all of the comments, for example, or you can do this by topic, it'll put the notes, the question number, etc. So that can help you. If you hit the book bag, these are the questions that you have checked this box with your book bag. As long as you have the question up, I also want to point out that those tags that I have used, you can actually edit those tags yourself. So you can categorize the question simply by checking this off, and that's what determines what piles the questions go in. Additionally, if you want to get really creative, you can make your own tags and use those. So it's designed to be pretty flexible. A silly feature that's really just for fun is this change feedback button. If you press the change feedback, try that again. If you press the change feedback button, it lets you change the words that will show up when you get an answer right or wrong. This could be anything that that you like. Again, these options over here show answer when incorrect. So when you make your answer, it will give you the answer right away. Close question automatically just saves you a click. Most people like that. And show full screen, that's generally most people's preference. To make it a little easier, if you only want to see certain topics when you press the Start Exam button, you can select those topics by pushing them over here, and that button just brings you to that menu. You can change the number of questions that are in your exam. I'll let you push these two buttons. This link will bring you to a Google Doc, which will have links to help videos. If people are interested in that, I can make some more. This is just kind of an overview. And also, if there's any updated version of this file, that will be there. Speaking of updated versions, should you download another version, or maybe you worked on it at school and then you want to work on it at home, you can bring over your information about which questions you've done and haven't done by pressing this import button. You would just have to browse for this spreadsheet, the old one, and put that in and hit the import button, and that will take care of that. I think that's everything I can think of for right now. I will say, here's another link to that video, and also if you have a Mac, I'm sorry, this probably isn't going to work for you because most versions of Mac don't support VBA, which is how most of those menus happen. But what it will allow you to do is to click on these hyperlinks, which will take you to the question. So you can see the answer, you can see the question, you can see the topics. So it's still useful, but it's not quite the same thing. It's not recording or keeping track of which questions you're getting right or wrong, but it's still valuable. So I hope you find this useful. If you have particular questions about this, how it works, or you'd like me to make a shorter video on accomplishing a particular task, just let me know. prerequisitename@gmail.com, and I will update this this link. I think that's everything.